We just spent 7 nights aboard the luxurious Crystal Symphony, and today we're taking you on a deck-by-deck tour of everything this awesome ship has to offer. From the caviar to the cocktails, let's go explore this awesome ship. We are starting our tour up on deck number 12. Now, this is the highest deck for passengers on board the Crystal Symphony. Here on deck 12, in the very front of the ship, you are just going to have an observation area. So there's a few chairs scattered throughout on the green here, but this is a very quiet spot. If you're looking for a quiet spot for sail away, deck 12 all the way forward is going to give you incredible views and will be very, very relaxing. There's a couple of golf driving nets up here on either side of the observation deck. So if you do want to take your stab at swinging some clubs while on board, you can do that here at the top of the ship. Now in the forward, there is no elevator bank, but there are stairs. So if you do need to get up to deck 12, you would be taking the stairs. And here is one of the stairwells right here at the very front of the ship. But we're going to keep walking towards the back of the ship to see the rest of what this deck has to offer. This is a great walking deck, as you can walk all the way around the deck from the very back to the very front. You can see the pool deck down there. We'll get down there in a second, but you do have a really nice, beautiful pool here on board. As we get towards the back of the ship, you do have Wimbledon Court. This is the tennis and pickleball court found on board. So you can come up here and play those anytime. There's a small putting green right outside of the tennis and pickleball court. So again, we are more towards the back of deck number 12. Now you can walk this deck all the way to the very back, but we are going to cut inside here to the right because there's a couple of very important venues. The first is the fitness center. The fitness center is found up here on deck number 12. It is a little small, but it does still have a nice size sauna and steam room for men and women up here. You also have the spa, which offers a number of different services, such as massages. You can get your hair done. There's manicures, pedicures, and then there's a beautiful viewing deck at the very, very back of that spa. So you can come up here, get a nice massage, and watch the sail away from the back of the ship. We have now come down one deck to deck number 11. So located here in the back of the ship is the marketplace. The marketplace will be your cruise ship buffet on board the Crystal Symphony. And while it is a typical buffet open for various meal times, the food here is definitely elevated. Every single day, there is a collection of fresh seafood, there's delicious appetizers and sandwiches, and a very fresh salad bar. One of our favorite parts of the marketplace is the alfresco dining at the very back of the ship. Coming out of the marketplace, we are now walking into Beefbar. Now, Beefbar is a cocktail bar as well as a specialty restaurant here on Crystal Symphony. I love this area of the ship because it doesn't even feel like you're on a cruise ship. But of course, the crowning jewel of this area is the restaurant. Beefbar is a delicious steakhouse that was started in Monaco, and it is found on the Crystal Cruises ships. The best part of this restaurant is that it's included in your cruise fare. So in addition to the main dining room, this is another place that you can have lunch or dinner, and the food is definitely not to be missed. The cocktails up here are also great. It's a great place to come up and grab a drink before dinner, whether you're dining in Beefbar or one of the other many wonderful restaurants on board the Crystal Symphony. We are going to continue to walk out towards the pool deck, but there is one additional food venue that is up here more towards the back of the ship. Through these glass doors is Trident's Grill. This is your fast, casual food on board. They have things like hamburgers, sandwiches, salads, and delicious pizza. This is some of the best pizza that we've had at sea. That was the food found up here on deck 11. Now let's explore one of the most important parts of every cruise ship, and that is the pool deck. The pool deck is lined with a diverse number of different types of seating areas. You have everything from loungers in the sun to couches and day beds. You also have tables and chairs, so you can go to Trident's Grill and bring your food and eat it out here on the deck. But here is the beautiful hot tub and pool. There is one hot tub and one pool located here on the Crystal Symphony. I would say the pool is quite expansive, especially given the number of guests on board, which sits right around 600 people per sailing. We are now walking into the forward section of deck number 11. So this is the forward bank of elevators here on Crystal Symphony. At the very front of the ship, there is a lounge, bar, and activities area called Palm Court. This is a beautiful area where they will serve high tea most afternoons. The cocktail bar up here has a lot of Italian or European-inspired cocktails like Aperol Spritz, and there is a beautiful dance floor located at the very front of the lounge. As we walk out of the lounge, we're going to head back into the elevator lobby because there are two important venues for a specific type of cruiser on board. This is where the kids' clubs are located. So you have Fantasia, which is for the little ones. So this is for your younger sailors. There's a nice play area and craft area up here. And then right across from there is Waves, which is the teen club on the Crystal Symphony. So you can see their nice hangout area as well with some TV screens. We have now come down to deck number 6. Decks 7, 8, 9, and 10 are primarily stateroom decks, but deck 6 is one of the main decks with so much to do. Up first, we have the Galaxy Lounge located here at the very front of the ship. This is the theater or main entertainment space on board. So this is where you're going to find things such as the production shows, as well as more solo intimate acts. They'll all be here in the Galaxy Lounge at the front of deck number 6. As we continue to walk, there is a smaller lounge right outside of the theater. This area is an area where people have typically gathered to play games and hang out. This is a much quieter part of the ship. So if you need to just read a book or find a really quiet spot on board, deck 6 is going to be the area for that. Just past that lounge, we do have the Hollywood Theater. Yes, there is a cinema on board this ship, which is really fun. They've been playing a variety of movies actually in here throughout our voyage, some classic films such as Gone with the Wind, and then they've had newer films that you would also see in the actual movie theaters on land. This is another area where they might do some talkbacks, or this is also used as a conference center or conference space if you are on board for any type of work that you might find yourself here for. Now we're walking into the main area of deck number 6, and this is the Avenue of Stars boutiques. So this is all of the shops that you're going to find on board the Crystal Symphony. So you have everything here from makeup to perfumes to luxury goods. You're going to have diamonds, and you'll have things like luxury handbags, watches, clothing. You will find all of that here in the main section of the ship. This is directly midship here on deck number 6. Now, one area that we did walk past that I do have to point out is Jade Nightclub. This is the nightclub on board, and to our surprise, this was actually pretty busy in the evenings. They have a very small dance floor that you can see there in front of me, but then they do have a full bar. For the most part, in the evening hours, around 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., this was actually packed in here. People came in here, they grabbed a drink, they would dance, and one of the coolest parts is that they have one of the last living DJs from Studio 54 in New York on the ship, actually spinning your tunes. Walking back into the atrium, I just wanted to give a quick overview of the Deck 5 atrium dance floor. They transformed this entire space for White Night to be one of the best White Night parties I have ever seen on a cruise ship. We're now walking into the bistro. The bistro is your coffee shop on board, but something that they have that is amazing is these snacks and appetizers throughout the day. They have sweet on one side, savory on the other side. So if you do want to come down and have a little plate of charcuterie or some sweet desserts, they are wonderful here in the bistro coffee shop. The main bar for the coffee is right there. You can go up there and they have all of your standard coffee selections that you could want. This is the midship elevator bank that we find ourselves in. Those were bathrooms, men and women there on the right. And we are now walking into Starlight. Starlight is another lounge here on board. As you can see, there's a large dance floor there. They also do some entertainment in this space. They have dancing. This is where the captain's toast was. And then this bar is where you can come and pick up all of those delicious beverages before you dance the night away there on the dance floor. There are a couple of additional smaller venues here inside Starlight. One is the Crystal Images. This is your photo gallery on board if you want to order photos while you are on the ship. And on the other side, you do have the Vintage Room. The Vintage Room is an additional specialty dining restaurant that does cost extra. This is an area where you have a food and wine pairing. So if you're looking for something that involves a lot of wine and a lot of different pairings, you'll want to check out the Vintage Room here on the Symphony. There is another specialty restaurant located here on Deck 6 called Umi Uma. This is a Chef Nobu restaurant at sea, and it's one of the best dining venues that we've had on any cruise ship out there. This is a specialty restaurant, but it is included one time during your cruise. So you can come here once during the duration of your cruise. You will not regret it. The presentation of the food is incredible, and the food was equally as delicious. It was fun coming to a Nobu restaurant on a ship because typically that is a treat yourself moment when you are on land. As we keep walking, we are now in the aft bank of elevators, so we are really towards the back of the ship. And we're going to take a walk down this corridor here because there's several more venues that you definitely need to see. First up is the Connoisseur Club. The Connoisseur Club is the smoking lounge on board, or the cigar lounge on board. You can purchase a cigar while you are on the ship. Grab yourself a nice glass of scotch or whiskey, and you can smoke here in this room. This is one of the only indoor smoking venues found here on the Crystal Symphony. Next, we do have the Avenue Saloon. This was another very popular venue in the evening. As you can see, there is a bar there, and this was kind of the piano bar on board. There's a piano in the corner, and every single night, this venue would be filled as live music was playing. It was a great venue to hang out in before heading up to bed. The Internet Lounge and Business Center is also located here on deck number 6. So if you need assistance with the internet or you need to use a computer, you can do so there. The studio is your professional photo studio. So if you do need some assistance with getting pictures taken, you can visit that area there. And then they do have the Monte Carlo Casino on board. This is a very small casino, but they have recently partnered with the Monte Carlo in Monaco. So not only do they have a restaurant from Monaco on the ship, the casino also is from Monaco, specifically the Monte Carlo. The last venue here on deck number 6 is Osteria D'Ovidio, which is the Italian restaurant on board. This is also a specialty dining venue. You can eat here one time during your cruise. And the food, once again, was delicious. If you are an Italian food fan, this is a place that you'll definitely want to come and check out here on the Crystal Symphony. We are now on deck number 5 in the midship bank of elevators. So we are midship right now, and we're walking into the Crystal Plaza. Right off the plaza, you do have Waterside Restaurant. This is your main dining room on board. It was never too busy in here because really there's not that many passengers on the ship. So you'll find that entrance and exit right off of the elevator bank. Right next to the Waterside Restaurant is your future sales consultant. So if you do want to book a cruise while on board, don't forget you can use your travel agent and do that, but you can book those future trips right there. Directly in front of me is the concierge and the reception desk. That's also where you can book your shore excursion. So that's directly located across the dance floor. And then you have Crystal Cove, which is a bar and another live music venue here on board the Symphony. That was the ship, but next I want to show you something incredibly special. Let's check out where we stayed while on board. Here on the Crystal Symphony, we stayed in a Sapphire Veranda suite. As you walk in, you notice there's a small table for 2 people, a couch with a TV, and then a beautiful vanity filled with storage, as well as a refrigerator drawer. That mini bar was fully included in the fare. We spent a lot of time in our suite just hanging out, watching TV while on the couch, or hanging out in bed, because this did have a separate bedroom that was divided by a curtain. Alongside the bedroom was an ensuite bathroom with 2 sinks. But my favorite part of this bathroom was the rainfall shower. It was a full walk-in shower with a bench for shaving your legs, and then an incredible heated mirror with lots of storage underneath those sinks. There was also a full walk-in closet located right off of the living room that had several drawers and shelves. But I have to say that the best part of this suite was waking up every single morning and looking out on our beautiful veranda where we had 2 chairs as well as a small table. This was definitely one of the best rooms we've ever stayed in. Well, that was it. That was the Crystal Symphony. Let me know in the comments below. Have you ever been on this ship? Would this ship be a ship that you would ever sail on? If you're ever interested in booking Crystal Cruises, please contact us at jjcruise.com. We'd be more than happy to help you get on this incredibly special ship. Thank you so much for watching. On your way out, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. And until next time, see ya.